I think there's something over there, and then just takes off, just running, just like I said, dead sprint. Get up there, that it was a weird situation. But the weirdest part about it is they didn't run away when they knew we were there. Normally when deer see people, they're just like, peace, I'm going, see ya. And so there was that. And that same day, we're going basically go down the little pathway there that was made, because it used to be Richard's Woods, and so growing up with Daniel, we'd go through there on the four-wheelers, make little trails and stuff like that, and we follow some of those trails down, and then come across a little creek, and going down through it, and look over, and then there's this giant tree laying down. Like, okay, I mean, it looks like a good-sized tree laying there. Well, we go to walk up it and go to see like where it fell from, and when we get to the top, we notice that this thing that looked like the size of it's probably like the size of a good-sized maple tree. I mean, what we found. We get up there, and we found out it was only a quarter of what the tree was. So, like, where the tree was, it got struck by lightning or something. I'm assuming that same day that the rainbow happened, and it struck. And when it hit, it must have hit dead center tree, all the way down to the roots, and just blew out the roots completely. And when it hit the middle of the tree, the reason I think it hit like dead center middle straight down is because like when it erupted the roots, the tree split into like perfect quarters and fell perfectly even, like with each other, like across. And the one that we found, that we walked up to get to the center, when you stood in the center area, you looked down it, like down the hill, and it was right to where Laramie was standing in the field. And that what we did when we we're like, dude, it's crazy. And so we sit there and we meditate for a while, and then come to full circle with it. As we're sitting there meditating, that family of deer that we found like 2 hours before was just walked right up to us. No big thing. It was nuts. And it's just all the random coincidences that happened that day. This was all in one day, like a 4-hour period. All this stuff happened. You want to talk about mind-blowing experiences? It's nuts. Then it's funny because I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, Laramie was telling me about this dream that he had. It might have been a week later, I can't remember exactly, but he told me about this dream he had of this firebird or phoenix. Came, like the way the house is positioned is it's right next to a field, the one that he stood in, and there's a tree line back behind. I'd say probably 70 yards or so behind the house was the tree line, and you got the field going, next to each other, next to the house. Anyway, this bird, and the highway's on the south side. But this phoenix came up, according to Laramie's dream, came up at at an angle from, I guess, like the intersection of the highway, came to the spot in the tree line, like dropped a blood tear, and then cut 90 degrees, and then went over the house. And he was telling me about it, and literally like 4 hours after he told me about it, Reagan, their dog, is freaking out. Like, we're in the kitchen, he's on the back porch, and he just starts barking, crazy. And we go out and look, and there's this bird flying like the exact same way that was explained to me in this dream explanation. Went to like the same spot, cut the same 90 degrees, and then flew over the house. I'm like, what? And I was stoked. I was ready to go grab whatever it is that it dropped, and I was like, no, we don't gotta do that. Like, that's just confirmation that it's real. But the fun fact about it is I still drive by there because when my wife and I go down to her parents' house, they live about an hour south of there. We drive past that on the highway, and where that bird dropped that, or flew and then dropped and then flew away, there's a dead spot on the tree line because it dropped it right at the edge of the trees. So you have all this greenery, all this beautifulness, and there's one spot of just nothing growing. But behind it, everything's still green. So it's just little area. So yeah, it's I mean, I guess it wasn't really that much when you think about it. It's a few minor coincidences, I guess, if you will. But yeah, it's definitely some life-changing experiences with that.